Hello students, next topic of our unit is skewness. This skewness, already we have seen symmetric curves. So the opposite of symmetric is skewness. So if a frequency distribution is given, that is if the values are given, then you represent them as a you represent them as a values in the graph. So the graph will be either symmetric or skewed. So both are opposite of each other. So here already we have seen in a normal distribution the curve will be a symmetric curve. So the opposite of symmetricness is skewness. So now coming to what is this skewness. So skewness refers to lack of symmetry in the frequency distribution. Symmetric curve is a curve one of this kind. Both sides, if you see, if you draw a line at the middle, both sides the curve is same. So if you draw a line at the middle, you have two equal parts. So this is a symmetric curve. So opposite of this symmetric is skewed. So skewness refers to lack of symmetry in the frequency distribution. If the curve is not symmetric, it will be skewed. You call it as skewed. So making use of data, the shape of the curve can be drawn. So whatever data is given, if you represent that data, then if you draw a curve for the data, then the curve will be either symmetric or skewed. So either it will be symmetric or skewed. So if the graph is a skewed graph, or if the curve is a skewed curve, then it has these characteristics. That means the mean, median, mode fall at different points. In normal distribution, we said that it is a symmetric curve which is symmetric on both the sides of the line. X is equal to mu. Already we have done this. So it will be a symmetric curve. So if it is a symmetric curve, the mean, median, mode, all of them coincide at the center. So the opposite of this symmetric is skewness. So if it is a skewed curve, the mean, median, mode fall at different points. If it is symmetric, they all coincide. They are all same at the same point. So mean will be equal to median will be equal to mode. But if it is a skewed curve, mean, median, mode, they fall at different points. That means all are different. And shape of the curve is not symmetrical. If we are talking about the properties or characteristics of, these are the characteristics of skewed curves. So skewness. So the next is the shape will not be symmetrical. The curve is stretched more to one side. Skewness means actually it looks something like this or this way. So they are not symmetric. So it will be stretched either to one side, any one of the sides. So first type of skewed curve is positively skewed, or you can say it is skewed to right. Skewed to right. So that means the graph will be in this particular way. If you see, the tail is tending more towards the right side. So this is skewed to right. And coming to the properties of this positively skewed, the first one is mean will be greater than, median will be greater than, mode. Here I told you mean, median, mode are all different in the skewed curves. So mean is greater than, median is greater than, mode. And next property is the right tail is longer than left. If you look at this tail, the right tail is stretching. So this is longer than the left. So these are the properties of a positively skewed curve. And suppose if we talk about, that is the next type of skewness curve, that is negatively skewed, or it is, you can say it is skewed to left. So this particular curve will be this way. So if you see the tail, this way. So if you see the tail, so I can say the left tail is longer than right. The opposite of positive will be negatively skewed. And here mean will be less than, median will be less than mode. So these are some of the characteristics of negatively skewed and positively skewed curves. So when we come, so next we'll see the measures of skewness. So coming to the measures of skewness. Okay, next we move to the measures of skewness. So here there are two measures of skewness. The first one is absolute measure of skewness and second is relative measure of skewness. So for measuring the skewness you use these two measures. One is absolute, other is relative. So the statistical measures of skewness, they are used to measure the extent or direction of symmetry. So it is skewed means either to the right or to the left it will be stretching. So to measure this we use either absolute measure or relative measure. So if you are using absolute measure of skewness, so absolute skewness is found out by three particular formulas. You can use any of them depending upon the values they give you. So SK is the absolute skewness, is mean minus mode, or if median is given, mean and median are given, it will be mean minus median. And if quartiles are given, suppose the first quartile is Q1, second quartile is Q2, third quartile is Q3. If the quartiles are given, then we found the absolute skewness by Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 Q2. So these are the three formulas you have to learn to find, that is to find the value of absolute skewness in the problems. And second measure of skewness is the relative measure. So the relative measure means here it is the relative measure. For this relative measure, you also call it as coefficient of skewness. It is also called as coefficient of skewness, and it is defined as an absolute measure of skewness expressed in relation to some measure of dispersion. So relative to some measure of dispersion, you are using the absolute measure of skewness. So these are the following, that is you have two types of coefficient of skewness. The first one is Karl Pearson coefficient of skewness and second is Bowley's coefficient of skewness. So Karl Pearson, if they ask you to find the value of skewness using Karl Pearson, then the formula is given by mean minus mode by standard deviation. Suppose mode is not given, then it will be 3 times mean minus median by standard deviation. So this is, P is the Pearson's. So Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness is given by these two formulas, this one and this one. And suppose the second measure is Bowley's coefficient of skewness. So this is found by this particular formula, Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 median by Q3 minus Q1. So this measure is based upon again the quartiles. So this is also called as quartile coefficient of skewness. Quartile coefficient of skewness. So you can also call it as quartile coefficient of skewness. So here again you have the characteristics. If the coefficient is 0, if this value or this value is 0, then we can say that it is a symmetrical distribution. And if the coefficient is positive, we say it is positively skewed. And if it is negative, that means depending upon these values, whether you use Karl Pearson or Bowley coefficient of skewness, if it is positive, then it is positively skewed. If it is negative, it is negatively skewed distribution. And the value of these coefficient always lie between plus or minus 1. Either Karl Pearson or Bowley coefficient of skewness. So the value should be between plus or minus 1. So that this particular Bowley coefficient, they ask you a question, the limits of Bowley coefficient should be between plus or minus 1. You have a proof for this. I'll send you the proof. And next, moving to the next topic, kurtosis. So with this kurtosis, we'll complete this particular unit. So Next, kurtosis. Kurtosis refers to, already we have done this skewness kurtosis in the first unit, if you remember. So kurtosis is also a measure of it is another measure of statistics for defining a frequency distribution in addition to the central tendency, dispersion and skewness. This is also one of the measures. So here kurtosis means it enables us to measure the flatness or peakedness of the curve. So if you look at this curve, you have a peak at this particular point, peak at this point, peak at this particular point. The measure of this peakness is kurtosis. So the looking like skewed curves or symmetric curves, here also the curves will be either too much peaked or normally peaked, or some of the curves will be flat like this. So the flat curves. So there you can define the curves, or you can divide the curves into three particular parts. First is lipokurtic, mesokurtic, platykurtic. So lipokurtic are the more sharply peaked curves than the normal curve. So if it is more peaked, then you call it as lipokurtic, and if it is neither flat nor sharply peaked, it is mexokurtic, and if it is flatter than the normal curve, it is platykurtic. So we have drawn all the three types of curves here, and here to measure the kurtosis we make use of coefficients, two coefficients beta 2 and gamma 2. So beta 2, the formula for this beta 2 and gamma 2 are, beta 2 is mu 4 by mu 2 square and gamma 2 is beta 2 minus 3. So making use of these two coefficients, you measure the kurtosis. So if this, for this lipokurtic, the value of beta 2 will be greater than 3 for the lipokurtic curve. Beta 2 is greater than 3 and gamma 2 is greater than 0. That is for lipokurtic. If it is mesokurtic, the beta 2 value will be equal to 3 and gamma 2 will be equal to 0. And if it is platykurtic, beta 2 is the third one. Beta 2 is less than 3 and gamma 2 is less than 0. So depending upon, that is, if it is platykurtic, you should get these values. If it is mesokurtic, you should get these values. If it is lipokurtic, you should get beta 3 greater than 3, beta 2 greater than 3 and gamma 2 greater than 0. So in exam they will ask you to find the coefficient of skewness based on the moments. So they will give you a frequency distribution table with variate and frequency. You have to find the moments, central moments, and from that you have to find this beta 2, gamma 2. And if they ask for coefficient of skewness, you have to find SK also. So that problem I will send you. So this completes this particular fourth unit. I will send you the problems. So try those problems. So this completes fourth unit. Tomorrow I will start, in the next class we will go for the fifth unit.